The opinions of our panelists do not necessarily reflect those of Bang Zoom Entertainment or Revision3.com. This episode of AnimeTV is brought to you by Netflix and GoDaddy.com.
Hey there and welcome to AnimeTV.
The only show of its kind. We review anime, manga, Asian pop culture, and video games.
That's right, I'm Jonathan Messa.
I'm Christina V.
And today we're reviewing Heroic Age, which is why I wore this shirt. Deadpool. It's awesome.
He's cool. Isn't he more of an anti-hero?
Yeah, he is.
Something like that.
But he's cool because he's heroic about it.
Yeah, well, anyways, we have a new segment today called Fan Play. Me and Tracy are hosting this new segment. It's about cosplay.
That's right,
and
you get to be part of it. So, let's get to it. AnimeTV,
go! AnimeTV, go! It's time for Hima. Hima means free time in Japanese.
That's it, it's free time. And we're gonna find out what our panelists have been doing with their free time.
So what have you been doing with your free time?
Well, you inspired me last week.
I did?
Yes, you did. So I bought Pokemon Pearl.
Awesome.
Yes, and I just started and playing it, got like an hour clocked in.
So Pearl's a slightly older version.
Yeah, but it was cheaper.
It's cheaper and they're backwards compatible.
Yes, less money, backwards compatible, works for me.
Let's see if any of our other panelists have been doing something Pokemon related.
All right, thanks Johnny and Christina. So our Hima time, what have you been doing, Roy?
I have been reading Encyclopedia Dramatica for one reason. Actually, a friend a couple days ago told me to look up this Pokemon coma-induced dream theory thesis on it. I thought it was a joke. Now, you guys already know what Encyclopedia Dramatica, it's the worst and best thing online, right next to 4chan.
Isn't that like a wiki thing, but it's for people who do outbursts and weird things?
And they usually flame a lot of people too. It's a
Explain flaming for people who don't know.
Okay, if you don't know what flaming is, please visit www.revision3.com/AnimeTV, click on discussions, and look the forums. I'm looking at you, Artie Pills. But seriously,
starting to call people out already.
Pulling this back, flaming is the art of troll. It's this art of a troll where he goes online to literally incite nothing but rage and anger and just utter unrest. Think of Hitler if he had a computer, and well, yeah, Hitler with a computer. Think of
Pokemon
that.
thing. What was it?
Back to the Pokemon. So this whole little idea is that Pokemon was a whole like coma-induced dream Ash had from episode 2 onward. Now remember Pokemon before you get struck by the lightning, Pokemon are very animal-like, almost very ferocious and very, very scary. He's running from a pack of Beedrills, Spearows, even Pikachu seems a little bit more rat-like in a way. And so he gets struck by lightning, and so the thesis says after that happens,
it's all just a dream.
It's all just a dream. Pokemon become more, instead of being rabid and feral and being something to be careful of, that they said in the first 2 episodes, they become friendly, and they're your best friend from the get-go. They're not really dangerous, and Pokemon never die. And so you're wondering, whoa, really? Seriously? And
that would be the worst cop-out in history if that was so.
No. It has to be the best cop-out. Because, I'll put it this way, the best thing they said, and I'm just going to keep it short, you guys go look at Pokemon Encyclopedia Dramatica. The best thing they said about it was, if he doesn't know how anything works as a machinery, Pokemon do it. Hey, there's a generator. How does it work? Electrodes. Hey, there's a water fountain, but I don't know plumbing. Goldfish. It just works that way. And the ending, where they throw in the Nintendo Game Boy reference.
Red?
Yes. It was, you've read it.
A little bit.
It's really good, guys.
I love how KG's like trying to push it off as like, I'm too cool for school, but then he's like, I've actually read it.
It's a nice theory.
I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
James is Ash's latent homosexuality.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And after I finished reading it, I really wanted to go back and watch Pokemon again.
It's not latent.
I'm actually going to.
I was like, wait, it's not a latent.
It was latent for a while.
Okay.
Then he came to terms with it.
Oh, okay. How about you, KG? What you been doing with your time?
I just recently returned Final Fantasy XIII to the game store because I have never had less fun playing a Final Fantasy game than 13. And
Everybody's been saying that about 13.
it's
Too bad.
really, I mean, I guess as a game, it's all right. You know, if I were to just buy it off the shelf and it was, you know, emo teen hair fantasy, 11 billion.
I don't know if it's emo. Is it emo? It's a very Visual K hairstyle, isn't it? Or the old, like 5 years ago.
There's been a long string
I
of
love you,
emo
by the way.
teens in
Why is
Final
that?
Fantasy.
Visual K.
Visual, yeah. Isn't
the
it
last-
Visual K?
Yes, that's why I love
Cloud was supposed to be like based off of Gakto, right? He's the
Was he?
Japanese. Yeah.
Oh,
Cloud
you.
was
They were in love with Gok. Remember, he comes
Yeah.
back for Final Fantasy VII games,
He
things
does,
like
yeah.
that.
But I mean, the reason I returned it was I felt like this Final Fantasy was Japan's answer to the Western RPG
Right.
that they've been competing with for a while. I mean, I don't know if they've been directly competing with like Mass Effect or, you know, even games like God of War or, you know, it felt like they were trying to make the combat system more
Fluid.
like fast-paced, interactive, but
Twitchy.
Thank you, Kevin.
Sidelines.
twitchy. But really, the way I feel that Western RPGs, especially action RPGs, work so well and sell so well because a lot of games like Mass Effect 2 or Fallout 3 even, the combat is very visceral. You know, the real-time combat is very visceral. You got like, you know, body parts flying all over the place. You know, it's really fast-paced, really intense. Whereas in Final Fantasy, if you tried to make it like that, what are you doing? You're hitting them with a fire spell. Like, how intense is it? You know what I'm saying?
I feel you in that. Almost like it goes almost Dave the Gnome-ish kind
Right?
of feel there. Yeah.
And they had this new feature in Final Fantasy 13 called Auto Battle.
Is it like
yeah.
the Gambit system?
No, it's where the game plays for you.
You mean it tries to pick the best
Yeah,
solution?
the game picks the moves
What's
it
the
thinks you should be doing.
Okay.
Are you telling me the game actually plays itself?
It plays
at this
itself, and here's the best part. Here's
Wow.
where the interactive part comes in. You have a set of classes in this game.
Right.
And the interactive part is supposed to be you picking what combination of classes at any given moment you should be doing. Like if you want a tank, healer, and DPS, you know, and then you want to switch to like 2 healers and a tank to heal up. You're supposed to go, okay, click R1, choose that, wait until something happens, and then choose another set of classes, and wait till the game plays itself out.
What?
That's all it is. That's all the battle system is. Right?
Everyone out there,
Yeah,
Right?
It was good of you to
I want to
return that.
apologize on behalf of Square Enix and Japan.
What?
The
Okay.
American
I
household.
apologize on behalf of Japan, too.
Shut up.
All right.
Look,
Why
I'm
did
not
you...
even done. All right, there's one more part that I have to tell you. The game is 100% linear for the first 75% of the game.
what about the side
first-
quests?
There's no side quests. Up until
None at all?
up until hour maybe 12, where they put you in a big sandbox and pretty much say to you, all right, you know all that side questing and grinding that we've not been letting you do? All right, here's this big area for you to just go and do it. And all it is you kill monsters over and over again.
That's it?
That's it. Up
What
until that
happened
point,
to the fun part?
Right?
Oh, you're...
Final
up until that
Fantasy?
point, the game is completely scripted one linear path. That's
And
all it is.
you can't just go off on your
Nope,
own and
there's
do
no
whatever you
go
want.
off on your own.
What?
So the last good, at least halfway decent Final Fantasy game is 10.
Uh,
I don't know. I've only played up to 7. 7 broke my heart, and I never played Final Fantasy again.
really, in my opinion, the last
That's all I'm
one
gonna
was
say
6.
about that.
Well, I don't like to play
That's
the
all I'm gonna
race
say
card.
about
Okay, but I like to
Yes.
play the race card. But
that. Race card.
I want you to tell our viewers out there about the black character. Yeah. Go ahead. And I want the camera to look at my hair. Snowbirds.
There's a black character in Final Fantasy 13. I forget his name, Saz, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing kind of like the same coat Roy is wearing. He's got a fro, and a baby chocobo lives in his fro.
That's awesome!
Yeah.
No chocobos.
And there's a scene in Final Fantasy 13 where they're all on a plane. They've all got seats except for the black guy.
Where is he sitting?
He's hanging on in the back.
In the back.
As they casually fly through the air and ignore the fact that this
Tell
poor
him.
guy is about to fall off to his death.
To his death. Final Fantasy 13
Is racist.
racist. The last great hero we had was Barrett, and he was an amputee ex-war vet and no one gave a crap about.
He had a white girl as a daughter.
And a white girl as a
He had
daughter.
a white girl as
That
a
wasn't
daughter.
even his kid.
He was weak though.
And he was weak.
Sorry. He
Wasn't
was
that
weak.
good?
I hated him.
Barrett only picked up when you had him at what 777 life.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Go on. I'm
Anyways.
sorry.
Okay, so Final Fantasy 13 is bad. That's all we're gonna say. I'm gonna move on to mine.
And
Shut up.
racist.
Get off
All
your high horse and your race card.
Oh, at least I'm not hanging off the back of a ship.
Oh, you're not? All right.
Camera
so,
guy's laughing.
I'm gonna take it back to anime. I actually watched an anime. It was on Hulu of all places, and it was not dubbed. It was subbed, which is I try dubbed every once in a while. I'll watch like the first 15 minutes, and if I can't get into it, I just don't watch it. But this one happened to be subbed. It was Last Exile.
Oh, Last Exile.
I know. I'm late on the bandwagon. It's funny because I saw the title page thing and I was like, oh, steampunk. I love steampunk, so I decided to watch it. And it was actually well crafted. I think it's a Gonzo anime,
Yes.
I believe, and the story is interesting. It's funny because I almost want to know what happens to that world at the end. If you've ever seen the anime, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's basically surrounding these two young kids who are gunship runners, I guess. They kind of run letters and messages and merchandise or whatever it is. And every thing has a star on it. So one star is really, really easy to do, and then 10 stars is like impossible. You're probably going to die kind of thing. And
So they're delivery boys?
yeah, basically.
It gets
And
better than that, though.
Yeah,
It really picks up.
It starts out with that, and the animation was interesting. I think you could tell. Like, I love the fact that they had the gunships. It was almost like paper cutouts, and they were like moving it across the screen really quickly.
And then
Did
you kind of
notice that?
realize that wait, this is even worse because it's actually CG, which means they paid more money for an effect they could have done with cutouts.
So I was kind of like that's very interesting. I don't know what happened, but it did look like somebody was doing like claymation, or they were doing a cutout and a kid was like flying the gunship. But the concept I think was good. I think is it Warner? Somebody picked it up to make it into a movie, and they've been trying to make it into a live action movie.
It's been really popular though.
Yeah, I personally like the characters. None of them really bugged me. I'm sure if Laura was here, she'd be like the captain dude.
Was
Superman.
cute and hot
Oh my
and
god, he's
with
so
long
hot
hair
and
and
brooding, and
he's
I'm gonna be
broody.
Laura for a second, and he is my new man, kind of thing. I was just kind of like, I kept watching it, and when he first came on, I was like, wow, that's such a Laura character, you know, and I kept watching that. But it was funny how they had a lot of like backstory kind of that they tried to introduce into this show. And then there's this future story too, so it's a really
You never feel
interesting...
You never feel
Yeah.
lost with so much information they throw at you.
Yeah, and the first episode, I have to admit, is like really interesting because you have to get used to the world. It's a very jarring kind of old school 16th, 17th century kind of
With airships.
militaristic,
Yeah.
airships and these gunships and stuff like that, and they use a lot of steam, obviously, because it's steampunk. So it's one of those like I thought it was interesting and well done. I liked it. The characters were good. There's some cute guys, cute boys, cute girls for people who I don't know if that's your
Why
thing.
did you turn to me and say cute boys and then turn to them and
Oh,
say
you
cute
know
boys?
why. Okay, and so
You probably wouldn't say anything about that.
Oh! Hey, that's not what I meant. But
Can we tell
Oh, you suck!
Can we tell that story?
No,
That's not what I meant.
if you do, I say cut. All right. Now I'm
Guys,
glad.
one
No.
Okay.
Done.
So that's our HEMA for today. That's our HEMA. Shush,
You're
KG,
done.
that was me.
Mail me on the forums.
Yes, and KG will tell
You
you
will
what
do
that
no
was
such
all
thing.
about, and we're gonna take it back to you, Johnny, and Christina.
All right, when we come back from the break, we're going to check out our brand new fan play segment hosted by Christina and Tracy. So, check it out.
Netflix delivers movies directly to your home, saving you time, money, and hassle. As a Netflix Unlimited member, you get DVDs by mail in about 1 business day. Plus, you can instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies streamed directly to your PC, Mac, or right to your TV via a Netflix-ready device like the Xbox 360, PS3, and soon the Nintendo Wii console. Watch as many movies as you want. Shipping is free and there are never any late fees or due dates. Keep the movies as long as you like. DVDs by mail, plus instantly right to your TV. Get unlimited movies 2 ways for only $8.99 a month. As a new member and an AnimeTV viewer, you can get a free trial membership. Go to netflix.com/anime and sign up now. Be sure to use this URL so that they know we sent you.
Now it's time for a new segment called Fan Play, hosted by me and Tracy. It's a segment about you and your cosplay and what anime characters you like.
That's right.
So,
take it away.
Hey guys, Traci Hines here, one of AnimeTV's resident cosplayers. Well, you guys asked, and so we are bringing it back. Our fan play segment from season 1. Christina V and myself are going to be hosting the upcoming fan play segment, but we need you. Okay, so here's what you need to do. Go and get a picture of you in one of your favorite cosplays, or you can send us a video. But if you make a video, make sure to remember to do it somewhere where there's lots of light, so outside works great. And then you're gonna send it in to us and fill out the form. You can send in your photo or your video, or you can send us a YouTube link. And make sure to include all of your contact information so we can get a hold of you. And then watch AnimeTV for your big debut. By submitting, you'll also be eligible for our Fan Play Fan Favorite competition, where AnimeTV viewers can choose a favorite cosplayer who will be offered a guest appearance here on AnimeTV, and they'll also receive an AnimeTV prize pack. This is the real deal, guys, so get busy. Our first deadline is May 3rd. Here's a little preview for what you can expect from Fan Play.
Hello everybody, my name is Danielle, and as you can see here, I am dressed as Lightning from Final Fantasy XIII. My favorite anime is Nana. I really love Nana. My favorite character would have to be Revi from Black Lagoon. And the reason why I chose her is because she's very kick-ass. She gets very drunk a lot. I love her. She's got a great sense of humor if you don't piss her off. Now, as Lightning would say, you're watching AnimeTV. AnimeTV, go!
Now remember, we can only show a brief clip, so remember to tell us who you are, how you made your costume, and why you like your character. And if you can work in a "You're watching AnimeTV" or "AnimeTV Go," we would love that.
All right, when we come back from the break, we're going to be checking out Heroic Age, which is based on Hercules and his 12 labors, like mythology, but in space? What's that about? Find out after the break.
Web hosting from GoDaddy.com includes 99.9% uptime, 24/7 support, and free access to hosting connection. The place to install over 30 free applications sure to help you get the most from your hosting plan and website. For 10% off your order, just punch in the code ATV8.
next up is our review for Heroic Age. Entrusted with an ancient power, a young boy named Age is sought out by a galactic fleet called the Iron Tribe, led by the beautiful Dianela. Now it's up to him to unleash the mecha within and be the savior of mankind.
Geez, sounds like a lot of pressure.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, well, Funimation took on this title and they gave it the whole Blu-ray treatment.
Sounds good.
Yeah, should be pretty nice, huh?
Here's the clip.
Deep within the divided universe, mankind faces extinction. They undertake a search for hope, guided by prophecy and the will to survive. They seek a champion who will release them from their heavy shackles. One young boy holds the destiny of a weary people in his hands. An untold power within his wild heart. He will labor for humanity's liberty. Heroic Age, the complete series, coming soon to Blu-ray.
Heroic Age is about a couple tribes, which remind you a little bit about StarCraft. Do you not agree?
We were talking
You've
about
got
that.
your bug race, you've got your really technologically advanced race, and you got your human race.
They have been in the beta, and they didn't even invite me.
No,
Yeah,
I
sorry
didn't.
about that.
No.
Yeah, you guys
Anyway.
suck.
Yeah. Anyways, and it centers around obviously the hero guy that they have to go and find, and they manage to and they manage to find him. And then you have the hero girl who is psychic and stuff. She's able to do this. and figure out where to go in the universe. They talk about they talk about a lot of star paths and stuff like that. If you like space, it's a great show to watch. It's done by Gonzo. I actually liked it.
Here's the thing. If someone told me about Heroic Age, they'd say it's technically the story of Heracles with mechs.
Yes.
Personally, in Last Action Hero, I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger doing Hamlet. I said, I'd frackin' watch that. You know what I mean? That being said, I watched Heroic Age, and the whole idea of Heracles is almost thrown completely on me. I don't discover it. It's like, oh, okay, this might sound familiar. Oh, it's the Argonaut. Okay, that's funny. And then right in episode 2, they go through the whole 12 labors. And that would have been great if it was for the fact that the show had to yell it at me. My problem with this show, basically, before I even just go off on it, it has no personality. It's just like Pilot Candidate, or Candidate for Goddess, out here in the US. And it has anime by the books. The mechs are there. They're uninspired. The characters are there. They're uninspired. The main character is Age, the Heracles character. He's uninspired, and he's boring, and he's trying to be funny. And to top it all off, it tries so big to be epic. And I'm really let down for it. And I can't say I hate Funimation for it, because Funimation's doing the lion's share of the anime nowadays. Eventually, some of it's going to be a miss. And this one, it felt like just no personality.
Okay, no personality.
No
How about
personality.
yourself? KG?
I feel that if an anime is a cliche, it can still work. I mean, let's look at Kurokami. We did it last time, and that's a cliche, and it worked. Because the story was fun, the characters were compelling, it made you want to watch it. This show, I think my biggest gripe with it is, it had so much promise at the beginning. The first 2 episodes I thought were, pretty good. I read the premise, it's like giant bugs in space, mechs, alright, cool. It didn't go anywhere.
No, it didn't.
I felt like, the characters didn't evolve.
That's so funny that you guys say that. I'm sorry, I have to jump in here, because for me, it's like I started watching it, and I had no expectation, or not even... Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, I have to watch another mech anime, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the Funimation site to watch this thing. And I personally thought it was laid out nicely. Not everybody is as well-versed in Greek mythology and or stories like you, Roy. You're well-read. But some of us are either younger and they haven't had a chance to get into the stories yet, and or they, like the Japanese school system, you don't learn a lot of the Greek, stuff that you would hear. You don't actually read the classics and stuff like that. So for me, I thought it was a great kind of way of setting up the story. I actually liked the characters. I thought they were interesting, and each had its own flavor. And there was this sort of saga within the whole. I think you had to look at it as a whole. You can't just pick things out and be like, this didn't work, that didn't work. They were all pieces of a puzzle, and they kind of created this entire universe. That's what I liked about it.
When you read the Iliad, do you say, oh, you have to look at the Iliad as a whole, or do you have to read it and take it as it comes?
All right, here's the thing. I don't know about the Iliad or the 12 Labors or anything, but what this show basically came down to me is we travel through space, fight enemies, travel through space again, fight tougher enemies, repeat. Yeah. It's one of those shows. And, that's fine. You can do that. It's just, for example...
Lagan does it really well.
For example, the main girl character, the princess.
Dihalia?
Yeah. The person she is in episode 1 is the person she is in the very last episode. She does not grow as a character. She stays the same. She's put in different situations, but there's no evolution.
I don't think so. Because she starts out as a person who is not really an outcast in the family, but literally given the slave labors of like, we don't want to do this, but we can't have you here, so we're gonna send you off on a fool's errand. And then she doesn't really, she just wants to be there for her family. And then what happens is that through all these trials and errors, she realizes that she has to be the one who takes the reins, and she has to be the one who stands up for everybody else. And
right,
she really grows that way, I think.
She is like that, but she's like that through the entire time.
No, she doesn't start that way, I think.
No, she does start
definitely starts that way.
Not for me. I don't know what you guys are looking at, but
she's a strong silent leader at the start, and she's a strong silent leader The end.
I mean, the princess literally goes to the desolate homeworld knowing, in this first episode, knowing it's going to be destroyed. She goes there and search personally. That's like frontline commanding there. You know what I mean? And so when you think about
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
First episode, she comes down.
Yeah.
She sees Age, Heracles, Hercules, whatever. And she's like, oh, I need to be there with him. Oh, he's alone, he's alone, he's alone. Fast forward 5 years. Oh, now I'm alone. I wonder where you are. And it doesn't really come full circle. There's no real, I'll put it this way.
I thought there was a nice full circle to it, because obviously he knew what was going to happen. You know, I don't want to spoil the ending for anybody, but it's like he knew what was going to happen, and things were sort of set in motion, and it's not like she knew what was going to happen. She was just fulfilling a promise that he asked for, his one last wish, and it was the thing that would eventually lead to her happiness.
Okay, well, I ragged on the story. I'm going to talk about the animation first off. Now, like I said, personality has to come from somewhere. I think Laura said in the last episode, good animation does not make a good show. Bad animation does not a bad show make. I stole that. And when it comes to this animation is not even hit and miss. It's not even miss, it's not even hit. It's just the Sarah Planetall of mecha. And I say it like this. One, every mech that's not piloted by the main characters are cookie cutter. And you can say the same thing, well, Gundam, they have the GMs. Fine, then let's take a look at the captain's one. Oh, it's blue, and gets destroyed all the time. Okay, now let's
get tossed around a lot.
Yeah, let's talk about these space battles, right? I've seen, it's almost the same level of Speed Racer sometimes. Really? I'm talking about 60 Speed Racer. We're going to use this weird animation where, yeah, we see the movement in space, but it looks so goddamn blocky. I've seen animation like that since Zeta Gundam, the original release. And
are you talking about the huge space battle between the bugs?
Every space battle.
That's interesting, because I remember. I mean, they did recycle some scenes, I have to admit, but they do that a lot in animes. But it's kind of, I thought it was interesting because the fighting style was correct. I think correct to if we were ever going to have battles in space, that's what it would look like. It's
Macross.
Like it was kind of like how Battlestar Galactica really revamped the way we see. Technically, it started with Babylon 5, that's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, you know, it's like where you have a full-on kind of real battle happening. I don't know. That's what it looked like.
Can I say something about the space battles?
Yes.
Except between the mechs, that was a little
ridiculous.
But
every space battle came down to just
the mech.
The
mech fighting. Yeah.
It's not even the mechs. It's Age. It's the fleet waiting for Age to blow everything up. That's every single battle in this
and then the
show.
Fleeing from the
doesn't it bug you?
Site, yeah.
Doesn't it bug you that the way Age summons whatever his name is, the big blue guy?
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. You guys heard me talk about Guyver, and it's literally the same thing. Come on, Bellacross, and all of a sudden he does this weird not even Super Sentai, Sailor Moon. I love you, Komatsu. Sailor Moon transformation. Every single time I see it, I get more and more bored.
You know, he never really gets into any danger either as the mech. There's no real tension. I mean, you know he's not going to get hurt.
You know what I just realized, you guys talking about this? The fundamental things that we're all looking for in an anime is so completely different, which is probably why you are completely against it. You're kind of like, whatever. And I actually liked it because I'm not looking at the space battles. I'm not looking at the mechs, and it's like not an important part for me. Really, for me, it's the story that's important, and I felt that was compelling. So that was interesting.
Miley, you have to at least see it from this way. Then, if we're talking about the story, I'm going to bring up the whole idea of Heracles and 12 labors. It throws a lot of things at you, and I'm not going to say it's a direct translation. Please understand that. I know
it's not. No,
it's not. But if you're going to take something like that, you got to give me something that can just.
I thought it was really well done. Like I said, it sets it up. It's a lot to take in, I have to admit, in the first episode, the second episode, because like they tell you basically a whole entire generation of stories that you never see.
Didn't need to see.
I don't know. I thought it was compelling. Like you sort of had. It was like the Star Wars saga where you had like 1, 2, and 3 that was supposedly. He should have never made that, by the way. But you know, 1, 2, and 3 had happened already, and then the story is 4, 5, and 6. I felt like Heroic Age was 4, 5, and 6. There's still more to come. If he or she or whoever decides to do it, there was this whole prequel to it, and there's this whole kind of delicious story that happens. You know, the reason why a certain race is compelled to destroy another race. There's actual, like, reasons and motivations. That's what I liked about it, is that there were actual motivations behind every single character that were there. Granted, not everything is perfect in this anime. I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to say that it's a bad anime because one or two things are at fault.
Look, all the parts are there. I agree. It has a story. It has a backbone. It has mythology built off of. And the backstory to me kind of reminds me of Starship Troopers. And yes, it does.
Well, the thing is, there's nothing original anymore in this world, so I don't.
Right, but like I said,
they have
cliches can't work.
Yeah.
Yes, they are motivated by those things, the politics in the show, but they're too constant for me.
Way too constant.
They're just there's no change in. I just feel there's not enough change.
I thought it was I thought it was a beautiful kind of. Maybe this is a Japanese aesthetic where it's like very slow building, and it's not like a slam in your face. This is a change. Hey, look at me, I'm a new person. But it's like a real person doesn't change overnight. A real person doesn't have a 360. It shows you little sections of their lives, and it's literally like, you know.
I also don't like to watch that kind of person.
Well, then you shouldn't. You know what? If you're that kind of person, you shouldn't watch Heroic Age.
Okay.
If you are, you should watch Heroic Age. Final thoughts.
I'm generally not the type of guy who accepts the whole "it gets better later" excuse for anything. Games, shows, whatever. And granted, this show got a little better towards the end, but I don't feel that, to me, it was worth sitting through the first umpteenth episodes to get there. And I personally don't feel there was enough character growth. I don't feel that the views and politics and storyline changed at all through the entire thing. I thought it was very cut and dry. I thought they were what they were from beginning to end. And to me, that's not enough for a show. And even the action scenes, it was just boiling down to fighting the bad guy until Age blows everything up. That's all it was for me.
Roy.
Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This is anime by the books. It has animation, has its characters, has a story, has a setting, but none of it stands out to you. I can count on every person's hands in this room. There are 6 of us. How many mech animes have more personality than this? It doesn't have a faulty story. It doesn't even have the cliche characters you're looking for. You need something to grab onto, at least to dislike, something just to stand out in your mind. Now, Funimation has the entire series online. I'm not going to give you my idea of why it's like that, but I guarantee you this: Funimation has a Funimation channel. It has Kodacha, a lot of great shows, including Baki the Grappler. This show feels like padding. This is the cops of that channel. You don't really want to watch it, but if it's on, you'll sit through it, and maybe if Cheaters isn't on a different channel,
Cheaters, awesome.
You'd watch it. But again, Sarah playing tall. She's staying at the dance alone tonight.
Okay, my thing is this, is that there is nothing worse for an anime to be excellent, so great in the first 10 episodes, maybe even 20, and then to suck at the end. So I have to admit, that's one of the reasons why I appreciated this anime. If not, Gonzo tends to do this too. They have a great beginning, middle, and end. They actually think about the ending. And so I appreciated that. Part of the reasons why I think I appreciated this is because I love StarCraft, and I was like, look, these races are kind of like StarCraft races, woohoo, you know. We have been split down the line on this anime. Roy is totally against it. KG is kind of like whatever, and I'm okay with it. I actually liked it. It's a good anime to start for people who maybe have not started and they can't take the heart palpitations of really good anime that Roy suggests. He's kissed a boy, by the way. And so we're gonna wrap this up and take it back to Johnny and Christina in the studio.
Wait, you guys have to understand something. Don't.
So that's all the time we have today on AnimeTV, but it doesn't have to end. You can get on those forums, write us your reviews about Heroic Age, and just talk to us. Let us know what you think.
Next week is a fan favorite called Darker Than Black.
What's Darker Than Black?
I don't know. We're gonna find out though.
Super black.
Maybe.
Yeah. Make sure to fan us on Facebook.
And follow us on Twitter.
I'm Jonathan Messa.
I'm Christina V.
AnimeTV, go!
You want to open it maybe?
What was that?
You want to open it with...
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to AnimeTV.
Your only show.
That's
Period.
it. You will never see another one, I swear, if you do. Fun stuff today. AnimeTV, go!
Anime, manga, and Asian pop culture.
Yeah.
No.
Bang Zoom.